Stop calling yourself awkward. You're not awkward. You're walking into conversations with zero plan. And that's why your brain locks up at the exact worst moment. In the next few minutes, I'm giving you an anti-awkward protocol for tiny scripts you run like software, no confidence required. And stay to step 3, because I'm giving you the exact one-sentence line to use when your brain goes blank mid-conversation. You know the scene. You walk up to a group. They're laughing. You slide into the circle. Then your nervous system hits a big red button. Brain, say something cool. Mouth,
So, yeah.
someone checks their phone. Someone looks away. And you decide, yep, I'm the problem, and mentally uninstall talking to humans. Here's the truth. You don't need to magically be confident. You need mechanics, a repeatable system that works even when you feel weird. I call it the anti-awkward protocol. For steps, for scripts, use them in order. Use them badly. They still work. Before you keep watching, pick the next social situation on your calendar, work, class, gym, a party, whatever, and say out loud, I don't need charisma. I need a script. That one sentence flips you from panic mode into execution mode. Step 1. Preloaded openers. Stop improvising from zero. What to do? Before you enter any social situation, choose 2 simple first sentences you'll use. Not 10. Not the perfect one. Only 2. Why it works? When you freeze, it's usually not because you're bad socially. It's because your brain is trying to invent words under pressure. A preloaded opener turns that moment from perform into press play. For example, at a party, hey, I'm Jack. How do you know the host? In class or work, hey, what are you working on today? If you truly don't know what to say, use the room. Man, this line is taking forever. You been here long? It doesn't need to be clever. It needs to be easy to start. Next time you open Instagram or TikTok, don't scroll immediately. Pause for 5 seconds and write 2 openers in your notes app for your next social event. If you don't preload them, you'll default to so, yeah again. Now you've started the conversation. Good. Here's how you stop it from dying immediately. Step 2. The double question rule. Keep it moving without being interesting. What to do? For every question you ask, follow it with one more question about their answer. One follow-up. That's the whole trick. Why it works. Most awkward conversations die because you ask one question, they answer, and then your brain goes, now entertain them. The double question rule removes that pressure. You're not performing, you're steering. For example, you, what do you do? Them, marketing. You, nice, what part of marketing do you actually enjoy? Or, you, where are you from? Them, Texas. You, what's something you don't miss about Texas? People like questions that aren't generic. It makes them think. It makes them laugh. It gives them something real to answer. Another example. Them, I'm a nurse. You, respect. What's the best part of that job? And what's the part nobody warns you about? If your conversations die in 10 seconds, it's usually not you're boring. It's that you ask one question, then panic and stare like the loading screen is buffering. Which brings us to the save button. Step 3. Silence saver, label and pivot, your emergency reset line. What to do? When the conversation hits that dead silence, you do 2 things. 1. Name it lightly. 2. Pivot to a new, easy topic. Why it works. Silence feels painful because everyone pretends it isn't happening. When you label it casually, you break the tension. When you pivot, you give the conversation a clean restart instead of forcing both of you to suffer. The exact one-sentence line. Use this word for word. Wow, my brain just blue screened for a second. Anyway, what have you been into lately? That line does 3 things fast. It explains the pause without making it deep. It gets a laugh, or at least a smile. It opens a fresh lane. For example, okay, that was a solid awkward pause. What's been the highlight of your week? Or, my brain fully crashed, random question. If you could leave tomorrow, where would you go? This is not emotional vulnerability. It's treating awkwardness like a normal glitch, not a personality trait. Now here's the part most people never learn. You're allowed to leave. Step 4. Planned exit. Leave cleanly, not painfully. What to do? End conversations on purpose with reason plus appreciation plus optional hook. Why it works. If you never exit intentionally, you stay until the energy dies, and then you blame yourself. Planned exits make you feel in control, and people remember the ending more than the middle. For example, I'm going to grab some water, but it was good talking to you. Or, I'm going to say hi to a friend, but I'm glad we met. If you want to continue later, I'm going to run to the bathroom, but I want to hear more about that trip. Catch you in a bit. You're not trapped. You can just leave. Awkward people forget this and stand there until everyone wants to uninstall life. But I'm an introvert. Cool. This protocol is introvert friendly. You're not doing stand-up comedy. You're using simple openers, simple follow-ups, and you exit when your battery drops. But what if they think I'm weird? They already do when you say nothing and stare at the floor. At least now you're weird with a plan. Also, most people are too busy worrying about themselves to audit your every word. You feel 10x more awkward than you look. Now this is your exact 7-day anti-awkward checklist. Do it like training. Every day, have one short conversation with a real human. Use step 1 to start it, step 2 to keep it going. Once this week, use step 3 when there's a silence. Once this week, use step 4 to exit on purpose. Do this for 7 days. Don't aim to be charming. Aim to be slightly less weird than yesterday. Drop a comment. Which moment is the most awkward for you? Starting, keeping it going, or exiting? And which step are you testing first?